the Buddha's timeless wisdom for staying youthful. In a world obsessed with youth, beauty, and the constant pursuit of physical perfection, many people look for quick fixes, expensive skincare routines, health fads, fitness regimens, and the latest anti-aging products. However, these approaches often neglect a fundamental truth: true youthfulness is not merely about external appearances. The Buddha's teachings, which have guided millions for over 2,500 years, offer a different path, one that nurtures the mind, body, and spirit, and helps us live a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. According to the Buddha, maintaining vitality and aging gracefully isn't about resisting the natural course of life. Instead, it is about living in harmony with the present moment, cultivating inner peace, and nurturing the body through moderation, mindfulness, and compassion. The wisdom of the Buddha, which addresses the nature of suffering, the impermanence of life, and the importance of mental and physical well-being, provides powerful tools for cultivating a vibrant life that transcends the limitations of physical aging. His teachings show that by focusing on our minds, our behavior, and our approach to life, we can preserve our vitality and live a life full of joy and purpose. Let's explore how these timeless principles can help us stay youthful, not only in appearance but in spirit. 1. Nourish your body with moderation, the Buddha's approach to diet. One of the most profound and life-changing aspects of the Buddha's teachings is the practice of moderation, which pervades all aspects of life, from how we behave, speak, and think to how we nourish and care for our bodies. In the context of food, the Buddha's teachings on moderation offer a clear path to achieving balance, health, and vitality, while simultaneously guiding us away from the distractions and pitfalls of indulgence. In a world where overeating and unhealthy eating habits have become widespread, these teachings are not only relevant but essential for maintaining both physical and mental well-being. The Buddha's teachings on diet and moderation. The Buddha, having lived through a time when ascetic practices were common, observed that neither extreme indulgence nor extreme deprivation could lead to lasting happiness or enlightenment. The key, according to his teachings, lies in the middle way, a path that avoids the extremes of both indulgence and asceticism. This middle way is where moderation in all aspects of life, including food, plays a crucial role. In one of his early teachings, the Buddha addressed the issue of food and consumption when he spoke to his first disciples, explaining that the body requires nourishment, but the aim should not be to consume beyond what is necessary for sustenance. He advised that the body should be treated as a vehicle for spiritual development, and if we overfeed it with indulgence, it becomes a hindrance to our practice, whereas excessive deprivation weakens the body and leads to suffering. The Buddha said, "Just as a fine steed, well-fed and well-cared for, is able to carry its rider swiftly and steadily, so too, a body that is nourished with what is necessary can carry us swiftly and steadily along the path of wisdom and liberation." This metaphor highlights the importance of feeding the body appropriately, just enough to keep it healthy and functioning without indulging in excess or depriving it. The middle way of eating. In the Buddha's time, ascetic practices were very common, and many people believed that extreme deprivation, including fasting, would lead them to spiritual liberation. However, the Buddha rejected this notion after years of practicing extreme self-denial. He realized that a well-balanced diet, one that neither indulges the senses nor deprives the body, is essential for both physical health and spiritual clarity. His own journey of self-discovery illustrates the importance of moderation. At one point, the Buddha had practiced intense asceticism, eating very little in an effort to attain enlightenment. He nearly starved himself, and in this weakened state, he realized that extreme deprivation was not the answer. This experience is vividly recounted in the Pali Canon, where the Buddha recalls how he had reached the brink of death due to his excessive fasting, and how he finally understood that the path to enlightenment required nourishment, not self-imposed starvation. He then decided to adopt the middle way, the path of moderation, which involved eating food in balance to support both the body and mind without indulging in excess. This lesson is profoundly significant today, especially in a world where diet culture and extreme dietary trends, such as fasting or extreme calorie restrictions, often dominate. The Buddha's middle way offers a profound alternative: to nourish the body adequately to support mental and physical health without falling into the trap of overindulgence or harmful deprivation. Mindful eating, a practice of presence and balance. In Buddhism, mindfulness is a core practice, and it extends to every aspect of life, including eating. Eating mindfully is about being present with the food, recognizing its source, and appreciating its role in sustaining the body. Mindful eating invites us to pay attention to the sensations of hunger, the taste and texture of the food, and the feelings of satisfaction when we have eaten enough. When we eat mindfully, we are more likely to recognize when we are full, thus preventing overeating. Overeating often happens when we eat out of stress, boredom, or habit, rather than genuine hunger. Mindful eating encourages us to engage with food in a way that honors our bodies and recognizes the nourishment it provides. The Buddha taught that when we eat, we should focus not on the gratification of the senses, but on the nourishment the food provides. This teaching aligns with his broader philosophy of finding satisfaction not in excess or sensory indulgence but in the simplicity of contentment. In the Sutra of the Four Establishments of Mindfulness, Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha emphasizes that mindfulness should be applied to all actions, and eating is no exception. He encourages practitioners to be fully present while eating, being aware of the act of eating itself and the effects that the food has on the body. When we bring mindfulness to our meals, we can experience not only a deeper connection to the food but also a greater sense of gratitude for it. The modern relevance of the Buddha's teachings on diet. In today's fast-paced world, food is often consumed mindlessly, as a way to cope with stress, boredom, or emotion. We live in a society where food is readily available, but much of it is processed and devoid of the nutrients our bodies truly need. Overeating and unhealthy eating habits have become the norm, and many people suffer from the consequences: obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and mental health issues like anxiety and depression. The Buddha's teachings on moderation are particularly pertinent today. Excessive consumption of processed foods, sugars, and unhealthy fats leads to inflammation, weight gain, and chronic health problems that contribute to a premature aging process. Furthermore, the constant quest for external pleasure through food can lead to addiction-like behaviors, where we find ourselves eating not out of necessity but out of a desire for instant gratification or emotional comfort. The Buddha's middle way offers us a way out of this cycle. By consuming food mindfully and with moderation, we can support our body's health, reduce the risk of chronic diseases, and maintain balanced energy levels. His teaching encourages us to make conscious food choices, avoid overeating, and recognize the difference between true hunger and emotional cravings. When we eat with awareness, we are less likely to overeat, as we become attuned to our body's signals of satiety. This not only helps with weight management but also allows us to develop a deeper sense of respect for food and its role in sustaining life. The impact of overindulgence on mind and body. Overindulgence, especially in food, has a profound impact on both the mind and body. From a Buddhist perspective, overconsumption leads to physical discomfort, poor health, and a restless mind. When the body is overloaded with food, it becomes sluggish, and the mind becomes clouded. This diminishes our ability to practice mindfulness, focus, and clarity, qualities that are essential for spiritual progress. The Buddha recognized that indulgence in food, drink, and material comforts creates attachment, and attachment is the root of suffering. The desire for more, whether in food, wealth, or sensory pleasures, keeps us trapped in a cycle of craving and dissatisfaction. By practicing moderation, we free ourselves from this cycle and create the conditions for true contentment and inner peace. In one of the Buddha's well-known teachings, the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the setting in motion of the wheel of Dharma, he talks about the importance of avoiding both indulgence in sensual pleasures and extreme asceticism. He presents the middle way as a path that avoids these extremes and leads to wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental concentration, key components for spiritual awakening. When we apply this to eating, we learn to nourish our bodies without falling into the trap of overindulgence or deprivation, allowing us to maintain a balanced and healthy approach to life. A story from the Buddha's life, the rice porridge incident. A well-known story from the Buddha's life illustrates the importance of moderation in eating. After his period of extreme fasting, the Buddha was offered a bowl of rice porridge by a kind woman named Sujata. His first meal in many days was simple but nourishing, and it marked a turning point in his journey toward enlightenment. He realized that the body needed sustenance, but that indulgence in excess was not the answer. In that moment, the Buddha understood that the middle way was not only about spiritual practice but also about taking care of the body in a balanced way. The rice porridge represented the right balance between excess and deprivation, and from that moment, he adopted a more moderate approach to food that would serve him well on his path to enlightenment. This story serves as a powerful reminder that the path to health and spiritual progress is about finding balance, neither depriving the body nor overindulging it, but providing it with the nourishment it needs to thrive. Living with balance and awareness. The Buddha's approach to diet is a profound teaching in moderation and mindfulness. In a world where food is often consumed mindlessly and in excess, his guidance offers a much-needed alternative. By embracing moderation in our diet, eating mindfully, and avoiding the extremes of overindulgence and deprivation, we can nourish both our bodies and minds, leading to better physical health, mental clarity, and spiritual growth. The middle way is not only a guide to spiritual practice, it is also a path to a balanced and harmonious life. As we adopt these principles in our everyday lives, we cultivate a deeper connection to our bodies, develop a sense of gratitude for the nourishment food provides, and support our overall well-being. In this way, the Buddha's teachings on moderation in eating offer us a timeless and transformative path to vitality, health, and peace. 2. Cultivate a peaceful and joyful mind, the Buddha's path to timeless vitality. In the modern world, we often associate aging primarily with the physical process: wrinkles, graying hair, and the slowing down of bodily functions. However, in the Buddha's teachings, aging is not only a biological phenomenon but also a mental and spiritual process. The Buddha profoundly understood that our mental state has a powerful influence on how we age, and he emphasized the importance of cultivating a peaceful and joyful mind in order to live with vitality and grace, regardless of our physical age. Today, stress, anxiety, negative emotions, and the constant bombardment of external pressures make it more difficult than ever to maintain inner peace. These factors, if left unchecked, accelerate the aging process by producing stress hormones such as cortisol, which can damage bodily tissues and weaken the immune system. In contrast, a calm and joyful mind can support longevity and contribute to a more youthful appearance and energy. The Buddha's teachings offer a comprehensive roadmap for achieving mental peace and joy, which, when practiced diligently, can slow down the aging process and cultivate a life of happiness, contentment, and spiritual growth. The role of the mind in aging. The Buddha taught that suffering, dukkha, arises from attachment, desire, and ignorance, and that these mental states, along with the negative emotions they generate, can contribute to both mental and physical suffering. It is through cultivating mindfulness, wisdom, and inner peace that we can overcome these obstacles and live a life of greater contentment. Aging, in the Buddhist sense, is not merely a physical decline but a reflection of our mental attitudes and emotional responses to the changing circumstances of life. In the teachings of the Buddha, we are constantly reminded that our thoughts shape our reality. Negative thoughts, particularly those rooted in attachment, anger, fear, and desire, produce a corrosive effect on the mind, which then affects the body. This is not just a metaphorical concept. Modern science has now corroborated this idea by showing how chronic stress and negative emotions cause the body to release cortisol, which, over time, accelerates aging. Cortisol has been shown to affect everything from cell regeneration to the immune system, making it easier for diseases to take hold. However, the Buddha also taught that the mind can be trained to let go of such negative emotions, and in doing so, one can reduce stress and its damaging effects. The practice of cultivating a peaceful mind begins with awareness and intentionality, becoming conscious of the thoughts and emotions that arise in our minds and learning to release those that do not serve us. The Buddha's teachings on the nature of the mind. The Buddha's teachings on the mind are clear. Our happiness, peace, and well-being come from within. Our external circumstances, including the inevitable aging process, do not have the power to determine our mental state unless we allow them to. This realization is central to the Buddhist path, and the Buddha encouraged his followers to turn inward in order to cultivate a serene and joyful state of mind. One of the core practices in Buddhism is meditation, specifically, mindfulness meditation, which allows practitioners to develop awareness and control over their thoughts and emotions. By focusing on the present moment, without attachment to past regrets or future worries, the mind becomes more peaceful and less prone to stress. Meditation helps us to observe our emotions without becoming entangled in them, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with clarity, rather than reacting impulsively or out of fear. In the Dhammapada, a collection of the Buddha's teachings, the Buddha says, "We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world." This teaching underscores the importance of the mind in shaping both our experiences and our health. If we cultivate negative thoughts, such as hatred, greed, and fear, we create an environment within our minds that fosters stress and aging. But if we cultivate thoughts of peace, kindness, and equanimity, we create a fertile ground for vitality, joy, and longevity. The detrimental effects of negative emotions. One of the primary contributors to mental suffering and premature aging is the presence of negative emotions such as anger, resentment, worry, and jealousy. These emotions arise from attachment and desire, which the Buddha identified as the root causes of suffering. When we hold on to grudges, seek revenge, or constantly worry about the future, we create inner turmoil that disrupts our mental and physical health. In Buddhist psychology, negative emotions are seen as mental poisons that cloud our judgment and cause suffering. These poisons not only damage our minds but also have tangible effects on our bodies. Anger, for example, triggers the fight-or-flight response, raising cortisol levels and increasing blood pressure. Chronic anger and resentment can lead to long-term health problems, such as heart disease and digestive issues, while also accelerating the aging process. On the other hand, the Buddha encouraged us to release these negative emotions through practices such as forgiveness, letting go of attachment, and cultivating compassion. In his teachings on mindfulness, he emphasized the importance of observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. This allows us to recognize when negative emotions arise and choose not to become attached to them. The practice of loving kindness, metta. One of the Buddha's most important practices for cultivating a peaceful and joyful mind is the practice of metta, or loving kindness. Metta is an unconditional love and goodwill that we cultivate not just for others but also for ourselves. It is a practice of self-compassion and emotional balance that helps us to reduce negative emotions such as anger and resentment. The Buddha taught that when we wish for others to be happy, free from suffering, and at peace, we create a positive mental environment that directly impacts our own well-being. The practice of metta is a simple yet powerful tool for transforming negative emotions and cultivating a peaceful, joyful mind. In the Metta Sutta, the Buddha teaches, "May all beings be happy, may all beings be without disease. May all beings experience the sensation of auspiciousness. May nobody suffer in any way." This practice of extending loving kindness to all beings, whether family, friends, strangers, or even those we may consider enemies, helps to dissolve the barriers that keep us locked in negative emotions. As we cultivate metta, we naturally develop a more joyful and compassionate heart, which reduces the effects of stress and aging on both the mind and body. The power of gratitude. Another key practice in Buddhism that supports the cultivation of a peaceful and joyful mind is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is the antidote to dissatisfaction and envy, two emotions that can wreak havoc on our mental and physical health. When we focus on the things we are grateful for, rather than what we lack, we shift our attention from scarcity to abundance. In Buddhist teachings, cultivating gratitude is considered a form of mindfulness, as it requires us to be present in the moment and appreciative of the blessings in our lives. By acknowledging the goodness around us, whether it is the love of family, the beauty of nature, or the simple act of being alive, we naturally foster a sense of contentment and peace. The Buddha frequently taught about the importance of gratitude, both for the present moment and for the opportunities to practice the path. In the Samanaphala Sutta, he reminds his followers to recognize the impermanence of life and appreciate the preciousness of each moment. When we do so, we cultivate a deep sense of gratitude for the gift of life, which leads to greater joy and mental clarity. Letting go of worry, trust in impermanence. In the Buddhist worldview, one of the greatest sources of mental distress is our attachment to things remaining the same, our resistance to change, and our fear of the future. The Buddha's teachings on impermanence, anicca, are central to his path of liberation. He teaches us that everything in life, including our bodies, is in a constant state of flux. Aging is not something to be feared or resisted, it is a natural part of the process of life. Worrying about the future, whether it is about health, aging, or death, only adds unnecessary stress to our lives. The Buddha encourages us to accept impermanence with equanimity and to focus on living fully in the present moment. By embracing the impermanent nature of life, we let go of the fear and anxiety that so often accompany the process of aging. This acceptance of impermanence brings a deep sense of peace, as we no longer cling to the fleeting moments of youth but learn to appreciate the wisdom and beauty that come with age. A story of the Buddha and the aging woman. There is a poignant story in the Buddhist texts that illustrates the Buddha's understanding of aging and the importance of cultivating a peaceful mind. A woman named Visakha, who was wealthy and respected in her community, approached the Buddha one day with a question about aging. She was deeply troubled by the visible signs of aging that had begun to appear on her face and body. The Buddha, with his characteristic compassion, spoke to Visakha about the nature of impermanence, explaining that aging is a natural part of life that cannot be avoided. However, he reminded her that the true source of beauty and vitality lies not in external appearances but in the purity of the mind. The Buddha encouraged Visakha to focus on cultivating a peaceful and compassionate mind, which would lead to lasting happiness and joy, no matter what her physical appearance might become. Visakha, upon hearing the Buddha's words, experienced a profound shift in perspective. She realized that the signs of aging were not something to be feared but a reflection of the wisdom she had gained throughout her life. She began to practice meditation and mindfulness with greater dedication, and in doing so, she found peace and joy that transcended the physical changes of her body. Conclusion: a peaceful and joyful mind as the key to youthfulness. The Buddha's teachings on the mind offer us a powerful guide for aging with grace and vitality. By cultivating a peaceful and joyful mind, we can reduce the harmful effects of stress and negative emotions on our bodies. Practices such as mindfulness, loving-kindness, gratitude, and acceptance of impermanence can help us create a mental environment that fosters well-being, happiness, and longevity. As we embrace the Buddha's path, we learn to let go of attachment and fear, allowing us to live fully in the present moment. With a calm, clear, and compassionate mind, we can experience life's natural cycles, including aging, with equanimity and joy. In doing so, we not only preserve our vitality but also deepen our connection to the world around us, fostering a life of peace, wisdom, and enduring happiness. Meditation, the key to inner youth in the Buddha's teachings. In the modern world, the concept of aging is often seen as inevitable and, at times, daunting. People spend countless amounts of time, money, and energy searching for ways to maintain their youthful appearance and vigor, from cosmetic procedures to the latest health trends. However, the Buddha's teachings offer us a different perspective on aging, one that goes beyond the physical to encompass the mind and spirit. Central to the Buddha's teachings is meditation, a practice that has been shown to rejuvenate both the body and mind, offering us the possibility of experiencing inner youth that transcends the limitations of age. Meditation, in its various forms, is one of the most profound tools for mental and physical rejuvenation in Buddhism. It is not just a practice for relaxation or spiritual growth, it is a powerful method for nurturing both our mental and physical well-being, and by doing so, it helps slow down the aging process. In the Buddha's teachings, meditation is an essential tool for cultivating mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. But it also plays a vital role in reducing stress, improving cognitive functions, and maintaining emotional balance, all of which are essential in preserving vitality and youthfulness. This essay delves deeply into the role of meditation in preserving youth, exploring how it aligns with the Buddha's insights into human nature, aging, and the path to spiritual awakening. We will explore how meditation works to preserve the mind and body's energy, reduce stress, and promote long-lasting vitality, while also sharing stories and teachings from the Buddha's life that highlight the power of meditation as the key to inner youth. The Buddha's understanding of aging and the role of meditation. The Buddha did not view aging as something to be feared or avoided but rather as an inevitable part of the cycle of life. His teachings were focused on understanding impermanence, anicca, the reality that everything is subject to change. Aging, in this sense, is natural and cannot be prevented, but the way we approach it can determine how we experience it. The Buddha did not merely accept the physical signs of aging, he understood that true youthfulness is a state of mind, rooted in peace, clarity, and spiritual wisdom. In many Buddhist texts, the Buddha speaks of the importance of cultivating a mind that remains unaffected by the external conditions of the body, including aging. A peaceful, compassionate, and focused mind, qualities that meditation helps to develop, can mitigate the suffering that comes with physical decay and emotional instability. By meditating regularly, one can develop a mental attitude that transcends physical limitations and maintains a sense of youthful vitality regardless of age. One of the Buddha's core teachings is the Four Noble Truths, which address the reality of suffering, its causes, its cessation, and the path leading to its cessation. Meditation is central to the fourth noble truth, the path to liberation, the Noble Eightfold Path, and through meditation, one learns to reduce the mental afflictions that cause suffering. Meditation helps clear the mind of negative emotions such as attachment, greed, and desire, all of which contribute to stress and dissatisfaction. In turn, this reduces the mental and physical toll of aging. Meditation and the body, a tool for physical rejuvenation. In addition to its profound effects on the mind, meditation also has tangible benefits for the body. Research into the effects of meditation has demonstrated that regular practice reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, enhances immune system function, and promotes overall physical health. These effects are especially relevant when it comes to aging, as chronic stress is one of the leading causes of premature aging. The Buddha recognized that the mind and body are interconnected, and he taught that a calm, focused mind leads to a harmonious and healthy body. Meditation, particularly mindfulness meditation, encourages practitioners to focus on the present moment and become more aware of bodily sensations. This heightened awareness allows one to notice tension, stress, or discomfort in the body and to address it before it manifests as illness or chronic pain. Over time, this heightened awareness leads to better self-care and a more youthful, energized state. A well-known story from the Buddha's life illustrates the connection between meditation and the body's vitality. After his enlightenment, the Buddha spent many years traveling and teaching, and he would often meditate for long periods of time, sometimes under harsh conditions. Despite the physical challenges of his journey, the Buddha remained remarkably healthy and full of vitality. When his followers asked him how he maintained such vigor despite the physical toll, he explained that meditation was the key. Through meditation, he was able to cultivate inner peace and clarity, which allowed his body to remain strong and resilient. Meditation and the mind, reducing stress, cultivating joy. One of the most well-known benefits of meditation is its ability to reduce stress. Modern research has shown that meditation can significantly lower the production of cortisol, a stress hormone that, when chronically elevated, can contribute to a variety of health problems, including high blood pressure, heart disease, and decreased immune function. These physical symptoms of stress are directly tied to the aging process, as the body becomes more vulnerable to disease and its repair mechanisms slow down. The Buddha taught that mental suffering, much of which is caused by stress, is at the root of our physical deterioration. The mind is the source of suffering, and by transforming the mind through meditation, we can alleviate suffering in both our mental and physical states. Meditation allows us to access a deep sense of calm and equanimity, which counteracts the harmful effects of stress and leads to greater happiness, resilience, and well-being. In Buddhist meditation practices such as mindfulness, vipassana, and concentration, samadhi, practitioners focus their attention on the present moment and the sensations in their bodies and minds. By training the mind to be fully present, we let go of the anxiety and worries that often accompany thoughts about the future or the past. This shift in focus reduces mental stress and cultivates a sense of joy and peace, which in turn rejuvenates the spirit and helps maintain a youthful outlook on life. A story from the Buddha's teachings exemplifies the connection between meditation and inner peace. A young monk once approached the Buddha, expressing frustration at his inability to meditate properly. The Buddha, in his wisdom, responded with a teaching about the importance of letting go of expectations and simply being present with the breath. You must let go of your attachment to achieving something in meditation, the Buddha said. In that moment of pure presence, you will find joy and peace, and this joy will nourish your spirit, regardless of what age you are. Mindfulness meditation and emotional resilience. In addition to reducing stress, meditation enhances emotional resilience. It trains the mind to deal with life's challenges with patience, clarity, and compassion, instead of reacting impulsively with frustration or fear. This emotional resilience is crucial in the aging process, as it allows us to gracefully navigate the inevitable changes and challenges that come with time. Mindfulness meditation, in particular, is about cultivating a non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. This means acknowledging our emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them or letting them control our actions. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to respond to difficult situations with wisdom, rather than reacting out of fear or desire. This sense of emotional balance and inner peace is key to maintaining a youthful spirit, as it frees us from the mental turmoil that often accompanies aging. The Buddha emphasized the importance of developing compassion, karuna, and loving kindness, metta, not only toward others but also toward ourselves. By practicing self-compassion and cultivating a deep sense of gratitude for our lives and our bodies, we can reduce the emotional burden of aging. Meditation provides the space for this emotional healing, allowing us to embrace the process of aging with grace and joy, rather than resistance or fear. The benefits of meditation, a personal transformation. The effects of meditation go beyond the immediate physical and mental benefits. As we continue to practice meditation, we undergo a profound personal transformation. Our priorities shift, and we begin to see the impermanence of all things, including our bodies. This awareness allows us to embrace aging as a natural process, rather than something to be resisted or feared. With this mindset, we cultivate an attitude of acceptance and gratitude for the present moment, which leads to a sense of peace and fulfillment. This transformation is exemplified in the life of the Buddha himself. As he aged, the Buddha maintained a deep sense of serenity and joy, despite the inevitable physical signs of aging. He understood that true vitality comes not from physical appearance but from the state of the mind and the quality of one's actions. Through meditation, the Buddha was able to transcend the limitations of aging and maintain a sense of inner youthfulness until his death. Conclusion: meditation as the path to inner youth. Meditation is the key to preserving youth in both body and mind, according to the Buddha's teachings. By cultivating mindfulness, concentration, and emotional resilience through regular meditation practice, we can reduce the harmful effects of stress, enhance our mental and physical well-being, and navigate the aging process with grace and wisdom. Through meditation, we tap into an inner source of peace and joy that rejuvenates our spirit and keeps us youthful, regardless of the changes happening in our bodies. The Buddha's teachings invite us to meditate not just as a form of relaxation or spiritual practice, but as a path to lasting vitality. Meditation is the key to maintaining a youthful mind, and in turn, it has a rejuvenating effect on our bodies. As we cultivate a meditative mind, we cultivate an inner youth that transcends the fleeting nature of our physical forms, allowing us to age gracefully, with peace, wisdom, and enduring vitality. 4. Live mindfully, embrace the present moment, a Buddhist approach to aging and vitality. In a world that moves at an increasingly rapid pace, it's easy to become caught up in the whirlwind of thoughts, worries, and distractions. We may find ourselves dwelling on the past or obsessing over the future, often at the expense of fully experiencing the present moment. The practice of mindfulness, however, offers a powerful antidote to this scattered and restless way of living. Rooted in the teachings of the Buddha, mindfulness is not just a practice but a way of life, a way to cultivate a youthful mind and body by embracing the present moment, fully aware, and without judgment. Mindfulness is a fundamental aspect of Buddhist practice, and it plays a central role in the Buddha's path to liberation. The Buddha's insights into mindfulness are not just philosophical ideas, they offer a practical guide to living a balanced, fulfilling, and healthy life. Through mindfulness, we can transform our relationship with time, ourselves, and the inevitable process of aging. This essay delves into the role of mindfulness in maintaining mental and physical vitality, exploring how it can help us live fully in the present, appreciate life more deeply, and ultimately age gracefully. The essence of mindfulness in Buddhist teachings. In Buddhism, mindfulness, known as sati in Pali, is defined as the practice of being fully present, aware, and attentive to our thoughts, feelings, and actions. The Buddha taught that the mind is often like a restless monkey, jumping from one thought to another, constantly chasing after desires or fearing what lies ahead. In contrast, mindfulness invites us to settle into the present moment, to observe our experiences with clarity, and to engage with life as it unfolds without unnecessary distraction or judgment. Mindfulness is closely linked to the Buddha's teachings on impermanence, anicca, which reminds us that all things are subject to change. This includes not only our thoughts and emotions but also our physical bodies. In embracing impermanence, we acknowledge that aging is an inevitable part of life, but it is not something to be feared or resisted. Instead, mindfulness helps us develop a peaceful acceptance of the changes that come with time, allowing us to age with grace and equanimity. One of the most profound aspects of mindfulness is its ability to bring us into the present moment, where life is actually happening. In the past, we may have been preoccupied with regrets, missed opportunities, or unresolved feelings, while in the future, we might be anxious about what's to come. These distractions often prevent us from experiencing life fully. Mindfulness encourages us to step away from these mental distractions and to fully inhabit the present, where joy, peace, and vitality can be found. Mindfulness and the body, cultivating self-awareness and health. The practice of mindfulness is not limited to the mind but also encompasses the body. In Buddhism, there is a deep understanding of the interconnectedness between mind and body. The Buddha recognized that mental and physical health are intimately linked. When the mind is disturbed, restless, or anxious, the body also suffers, often manifesting in physical tension, illness, and fatigue. Conversely, when the mind is calm and centered, the body tends to respond with greater health and vitality. Mindfulness helps us cultivate greater awareness of our bodies, allowing us to notice the subtle signals it sends us, whether that's tension, discomfort, or fatigue. Through practices like mindful breathing and body scans, we learn to tune into our bodies, acknowledging sensations without judgment or the need to change them. This self-awareness allows us to take better care of ourselves, making healthier choices regarding what we eat, how we move, and how we rest. The Buddha himself understood the importance of mindful living, not only in terms of mental clarity but also in regard to the body. He was known for his disciplined lifestyle, practicing moderation in eating, sleeping, and physical exertion. The Buddha's teachings on the middle way, avoiding extremes, apply to our bodies as much as to our minds. He advised against overindulgence in food, drink, and sensory pleasures, as well as against deprivation, emphasizing a balanced approach to life. For instance, in the famous story of the Buddha's own experience with ascetic practices, we see how he practiced extreme self-mortification before realizing that true well-being lies not in deprivation but in balance. After years of fasting and self-denial, the Buddha discovered that his body was not a mere vessel to be neglected, but rather, it was the foundation for his spiritual practice. Through mindfulness, he learned to care for his body as a sacred part of his path to enlightenment. Mindfulness and aging, embracing impermanence with grace. Aging is a natural and inevitable part of life, but our relationship to aging can significantly impact how we experience it. Many people fear aging, seeing it as a decline or loss of vitality, and they often seek to hold on to their youth by resisting the natural course of life. In contrast, mindfulness offers a way to approach aging with grace, acceptance, and even joy. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is impermanence, anicca, which is the understanding that all things, including our bodies, are subject to change. Our physical appearance, health, and energy levels will inevitably change over time. Instead of fighting against these changes, mindfulness encourages us to embrace them. By being fully present in the moment, we can appreciate our bodies as they are, without clinging to the illusion of eternal youth. A beautiful example of this attitude toward aging can be found in the story of the Buddha's last days. When he was in his 80s, the Buddha became ill, and his disciples were concerned about his health. However, the Buddha responded with a profound teaching on impermanence, saying, "Decay is inherent in all things. We are all subject to aging and death. What is important is how we live." In his final moments, the Buddha demonstrated that even as the body ages and deteriorates, the mind can remain free from attachment and fear. By practicing mindfulness and embracing the present, we can experience aging with a sense of peace and acceptance, rather than resistance or regret. Mindfulness allows us to see the beauty in the aging process, recognizing that every wrinkle, every gray hair, and every change in our body is a natural part of our life's journey. By accepting these changes with mindfulness, we learn to live in harmony with the flow of life and develop a deeper appreciation for the preciousness of each moment. Mindfulness and the aging mind, cultivating mental vitality. While physical health is often the first focus when it comes to aging, mental well-being is equally important in preserving our vitality. As we age, our minds can become cluttered with worries, regrets, and anxieties. We may find it more difficult to concentrate or remember things, and we may become more susceptible to feelings of fear or despair. However, mindfulness has been shown to be one of the most effective practices for maintaining mental clarity, emotional resilience, and a youthful spirit. When we practice mindfulness, we train our minds to be present and aware, reducing the constant stream of negative or unproductive thoughts. Mindfulness helps us to let go of attachments to past grievances or future anxieties, allowing us to experience each moment with greater clarity and peace. This mental clarity is not only beneficial for emotional well-being, but it also supports cognitive function, helping us to maintain a sharp and focused mind as we age. One of the Buddha's teachings on the mind comes from the Dhammapada, where he compares the mind to a well-trained horse. Just as a skilled rider can guide a horse with ease, a well-trained mind can navigate life with grace and wisdom. Mindfulness is the practice that helps us train the mind, keeping it focused and free from distractions, and ultimately preserving our mental vitality as we age. Mindfulness in daily life, cultivating joy and balance. Mindfulness is not just a practice for meditation, it is a way of living that can be applied to every moment of our daily lives. Whether we are eating, walking, working, or interacting with others, we can practice mindfulness by being fully present and engaged in each activity. This presence allows us to appreciate the richness of life in all its forms, cultivating a deep sense of joy and contentment. The Buddha encouraged his followers to live mindfully in all aspects of life. In the Satipatthana Sutta, one of the key texts on mindfulness, he outlines 4 foundations of mindfulness: mindfulness of the body, feelings, mind, and mental objects. By practicing mindfulness in each of these areas, we develop a comprehensive awareness that helps us live more fully and harmoniously, regardless of our age. Living mindfully also means cultivating gratitude for the present moment and the simple joys of life. It is easy to take for granted the small blessings we encounter each day, but mindfulness helps us to notice and appreciate these moments, fostering a sense of deep satisfaction and happiness. Conclusion: the transformative power of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a transformative practice that offers us a powerful way to age with grace, vitality, and joy. By embracing the present moment, we cultivate a peaceful mind, a healthy body, and a spirit that remains youthful and vibrant regardless of physical changes. Through mindfulness, we learn to accept the impermanence of life and to embrace aging with wisdom and compassion. As the Buddha taught, the mind is everything. What you think you become. By cultivating mindfulness in every aspect of our lives, we can live more fully, reduce stress, and experience the beauty of each moment, allowing us to age with dignity and peace. 5. Accept impermanence and let go of attachment, a deep dive into the Buddha's teachings on aging and letting go. One of the most profound and transformative teachings in Buddhism is the concept of impermanence, or anicca. The Buddha's insight into the fleeting nature of all things is not just a philosophical idea, it is a practical teaching that has the power to transform the way we live, especially in how we relate to our bodies and the inevitable process of aging. The Buddha's teachings on impermanence help us to face life's transience with grace, to let go of attachment, and to embrace the present moment. In this essay, we will explore the Buddha's teachings on impermanence and attachment, diving into how these insights can shape the way we age, how we view our physical appearance, and how we find peace and contentment as time passes. Through stories from the Buddha's life and the wisdom of the Buddhist tradition, we will reflect on how embracing impermanence can lead to a more fulfilling, peaceful, and youthful life. The Buddha's insight on impermanence. At the heart of the Buddha's teachings is the understanding of impermanence. He recognized that all things, whether material or immaterial, are in a constant state of flux. Nothing is permanent, and everything is subject to change. Our physical bodies, our possessions, our relationships, and even our thoughts and emotions are all in a constant state of transformation. The Buddha taught that clinging to the idea of permanence, particularly in relation to our bodies, leads to suffering. Our attachment to youth, beauty, and physical vitality creates a false sense of security, making it difficult to accept the natural aging process. When we resist change and cling to the idea that we should always remain youthful and attractive, we inevitably experience frustration, anxiety, and fear. An example of this can be found in the Buddha's first discourse, the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, where he spoke about the 4 noble truths. The first truth is that life involves suffering, dukkha, which arises because of our attachment to things that are impermanent. We desire things to remain the same, to hold on to what we know and love, but the world around us is ever-changing. By acknowledging this, we can free ourselves from the anxiety of trying to hold on to something that is, by nature, temporary. This teaching of impermanence encourages us to let go of attachment, not only to the external things we possess but also to our very sense of self and identity, particularly the identity tied to youth and beauty. When we let go of this attachment, we can live more freely and with greater peace of mind. The impermanence of the body. One of the most difficult aspects of impermanence to accept is the aging of the body. From the time we are born, our bodies undergo constant change. We begin as infants, grow into children, reach adulthood, and eventually age. Our physical appearance, health, and vitality all change over time. Wrinkles form, hair turns gray, and our energy levels may decline. These changes are inevitable and are a natural part of the cycle of life. In many cultures, youth is idolized, and aging is often viewed with fear or disdain. The pursuit of eternal youth is driven by the desire to preserve beauty, vigor, and vitality. However, the Buddha taught that this attachment to youth and physical beauty only leads to suffering. He reminded his followers that the body is impermanent and subject to decay, and that clinging to it will only lead to disappointment. The Buddha's own life provides a powerful example of embracing impermanence. As he aged, he began to experience physical ailments and discomforts. Despite this, he continued to teach and guide his followers with compassion and wisdom. In the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the Buddha's final discourse before his death, he spoke openly about the inevitability of aging and death. He encouraged his disciples to accept these truths and to understand that everything, including their own bodies, was subject to decay. One story that highlights the Buddha's attitude toward aging involves his famous disciple, Ananda. Ananda, who had been with the Buddha for many years, was deeply distressed at the thought of the Buddha's impending death. He expressed his sorrow to the Buddha, saying that he could not bear the thought of losing him. In response, the Buddha gently reminded Ananda that all things, including his own body, were impermanent. Everything that is subject to arising is subject to ceasing, the Buddha said. He explained that no one, not even a great teacher like himself, could escape the natural cycle of birth, aging, and death. The Buddha's calm acceptance of aging serves as a profound reminder that we, too, can learn to accept the inevitable changes in our bodies with equanimity. By embracing the impermanence of the body, we can free ourselves from the fear and anxiety that often accompany aging, allowing us to live more peacefully and fully in the present. Letting go of attachment to physical appearance. In modern society, there is a deep emphasis on physical appearance. We are bombarded with messages that tell us to look youthful, thin, and attractive, often associating our worth with how we look. This attachment to physical beauty can be a source of immense suffering, as it leads to the belief that our value is determined by how we appear to others. The Buddha, however, taught that attachment to beauty and youth is a form of clinging to something that is fleeting. He urged his followers to look beyond the surface and to recognize that true beauty is found in the qualities of the mind, such as kindness, compassion, and wisdom. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha says, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." This teaching points to the idea that the qualities that make us truly beautiful are those that arise from within. One powerful story from the Buddhist tradition that illustrates the fleeting nature of beauty is the story of the courtesan Ambapali. Ambapali was a renowned beauty in ancient India, and she had many suitors, including kings and princes. However, she came to understand the impermanence of physical beauty and realized that her true worth lay not in her appearance but in her inner qualities. She became a lay follower of the Buddha, dedicating herself to the practice of mindfulness and cultivating a deep sense of peace. Ambapali's story reminds us that while external beauty may fade with time, the beauty of a compassionate heart and a wise mind only grows stronger. By letting go of our attachment to physical appearance, we open ourselves to a deeper, more lasting sense of fulfillment. The beauty of a kind, loving, and wise person transcends the fleeting nature of physical appearance, and it is this inner beauty that endures through time. Embracing the natural flow of life. Letting go of attachment to youth and beauty is not about abandoning self-care or neglecting our health. Rather, it is about recognizing that our physical appearance and vitality are temporary, and that true happiness and peace come from within. The Buddha's teachings encourage us to live in harmony with the natural flow of life, rather than resisting it. Just as we accept the seasons changing, we can learn to accept the changes that come with aging. In the Metta Sutta, the Buddha teaches that we should cultivate loving kindness toward ourselves and others. Part of loving kindness is accepting ourselves as we are, without judgment or attachment to an idealized version of ourselves. By letting go of attachment to the ideal of eternal youth, we can find peace and contentment in the present moment, appreciating the beauty and wisdom that come with each stage of life. One of the most famous examples of this acceptance in Buddhist tradition is the story of the elderly monk, Khema. Khema was a queen who had spent much of her life focused on wealth, status, and beauty. However, upon meeting the Buddha, she realized the futility of attachment to these temporary things and decided to renounce her royal life to become a nun. As she aged, Khema embraced her natural aging process, and in her old age, she became one of the Buddha's wisest and most respected disciples. Through her practice of mindfulness and her acceptance of impermanence, Khema was able to attain a deep sense of peace and wisdom. The gift of acceptance. By accepting the impermanence of life and letting go of attachment, we free ourselves from the suffering that comes from trying to hold on to something that is always changing. When we accept that aging is a natural part of life, we are able to live more fully in the present, appreciating each moment as it comes. The Buddha's wisdom teaches us that there is beauty in every stage of life, and that each moment is a precious opportunity to cultivate peace, wisdom, and compassion. In conclusion, the Buddha's teachings on impermanence and attachment offer a powerful guide for embracing aging with grace and wisdom. By letting go of our attachment to youth, beauty, and the material world, we can experience a deeper sense of peace and contentment. Through mindfulness and acceptance, we can cultivate a youthful mind and body, free from the anxiety and fear that often accompany the aging process. As the Buddha said, the way is not in the sky. The way is in the heart. By turning inward and embracing the present moment, we can age gracefully and live fully, with wisdom, compassion, and peace. Conclusion: aging with grace and wisdom. The Buddha's teachings offer us a profound roadmap for aging gracefully. His wisdom encourages us to nurture not just our bodies, but also our minds and spirits. By embracing moderation in all aspects of life, cultivating inner peace, practicing meditation, living mindfully, and accepting impermanence, we can slow the aging process and preserve our vitality. True youthfulness doesn't come from external appearances or the pursuit of perfection, it comes from within. By following the Buddha's path, we can cultivate a youthful mind, a healthy body, and a vibrant spirit, allowing us to live a life filled with joy, peace, and purpose. As we age, we can do so with grace and wisdom, fully embracing the beauty of each new stage of life. The Buddha's teachings remind us that youth is not something we need to chase, it is something we can cultivate from within, in the way we live, think, and love.